Justin Fairfax. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. What a great event we are having here. The Mount Vernon Dems are incredible. Let's give a hand to the Mount Vernon Dems for this wonderful straw poll. And we think that this is just a start in 2013. As many of you know, and as Mark actually just alluded to, we have not had a Democratic Attorney General in Virginia since 1989. That's almost 24 years by the time of the next election. And what we're going to ask the voters to do in November is to change that history. We're going to ask them to be bold, to have vision, to have courage, and to do something very different from what they are used to doing as a default. And if we were going to ask the voters to do that in November, we need to start by doing that right now. I am running for Attorney General of Virginia because I have the skills as a former federal prosecutor here in Virginia. I have the passion as someone who has always been involved in public service. And I have the drive to change the odds for families all throughout the Commonwealth of Virginia. That's what this election is about. There are a lot of fights in Richmond. There's a lot of politics, and there are a lot of things that we're going to do battle on with the Republicans about. But there's a much bigger battle going on in Virginia. That is a battle that Virginia's families fight every single day for their economic security. They are fighting to keep their homes. They are fighting to send their children to school. They are fighting to get access to capital to start and grow small businesses. They are fighting to change everything about their economic circumstance, and they have not had a champion in Richmond to fight with them. I'm going to be that champion. I promise you that. I promise you that. Many of you know my story. I'm fortunate to have a lot of wonderful folks here, friends and family. My mother is here. I was raised in Washington, D.C., lived in Fairfax County, and in a very difficult time in the city's history. A lot of gangs, guns, drugs, and violence. And that was my experience. And I faced very significant and very long odds as a child. And what happened, though, is what I think we need to do for everybody here in Virginia. What happened is that people stepped in and they changed those odds in my life. They changed those odds by making sure that I would get access to a high-quality education. They guaranteed that for me. If you work hard, you will get access. They changed those odds by making sure that my beautiful wife, Dr. Serena Fairfax, and I would be able to buy a dental practice here in Fairfax, Virginia, which we did about 6 years ago. That has changed everything that's possible for our family. They changed those odds in my life by giving me safety and security in the middle of an environment where that didn't exist for most people. And that's also why I became a federal prosecutor, because I felt that everybody deserved the exact same shot at a safe community, a safe environment. There's not a child in Virginia that does not deserve a safe school, a safe home, and a safe community. As somebody, please, as somebody who has prosecuted criminals, who has put away violent felons, who use guns in our communities, I will fight. And I will make sure that every single family, every single child in Virginia has that safe community, they have the future that they're entitled to, and that we are a much better Commonwealth because we have fought for them today and this year, for the next 4 years, for the next 8 years, every single day that we are in that office. I promise you that. And the theme of our campaign is about fighting for security and opportunity for all Virginians. That security is about public safety. As a federal prosecutor, I am best positioned. I have the skills, I have the experience. I face these folks down and I put them away. This is not theoretical for me. This is not something I will have to learn on the job to do. This is something I know how to do. But this is also about security in their families, the ability to change the circumstances for their families and their economic security. That's something I also know very intimately about, changing those odds. So I promise you, you fight with me. We're going to make history by electing the first Democrat to the Attorney General's office in 25 years. But we're also going to make history by changing the odds for families who a year ago didn't know they'd have a champion in the Attorney General's office. They know they have one right now. I need you to join me in this fight. We're going to win. Families, children all throughout Virginia will now know from this point forward, that they have someone who will always have them in mind, will fight for them, will fight for security and opportunity, and will make sure that their future is much brighter than wherever their past has been. Thank you so much. Please fight with us. We're going to win. Thank you.